Hello. I'm just waiting for a minute because there's a lag time before I get started. I'm by myself tonight. I see Jill. Hi, Jill. It says I'm joining. I'll be I've been out of pocket. My brother-in-law. Oh, Linda. Sorry to hear that. Oh, she has COVID pneumonia. One of my relatives had COVID pneumonia. She was very young though. She did okay. Oh, you're stressed. Well, maybe this can take your mind off of it, Linda. And if it's okay with you, I'll say some prayers for you and your family. Hi, Deborah. Hi, April and Barbara. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get started. I wanted to start with a question. I'm going to ask you to do some work for me because you're all becoming really good investigators. Unless I missed something and I've gone back through, I am curious to know, hi Miriam, what happened to Elizabeth's land? So we're going to be talking about the whole where people live again, and I have some updates from the last time I posted any of my videos. And we're also I'm going to share with you some information I have from the experts that they shared with me. And I'll stop for questions, and that'll be our little chat tonight. So I wanted to start off with, speaking of who lives where, we know that Elizabeth lives in a row home, but Jack bought her land and he wanted to build on it. Unfortunately, of course, Jack was killed in the training accident. And there was a time where he thought he was going to have to foreclose. The bank was going to foreclose on his loan. And then I remember that the investors came and when the bank president was out there, he said, you do not have to lose the land. And then, of course, he passed away. And I do know she would write out, she being Elizabeth, and write out on the land and stuff. So I'm thinking that Elizabeth still has all that land, correct? She didn't do something with it. She didn't donate it to the town. I'm just wondering if they'll bring that up because the town itself is such a big deal in the next season and what's happening. Is it expanding? Is it not? And maybe she could build a house for herself on there one day. Okay, so Sharon says she's anxiously awaiting for the podcast to start. It started, I don't know if I know there's a lag time of when your questions pop up to me, but that's your work. If anybody knows about Elizabeth's land, what happened to it, I'm curious to know. And in what season did they address more about the land if she no longer has it? I couldn't find it anywhere. I've seen every episode some multiple times. So I'm just curious. Did they kind of forget about it? Opal's parents, where are those people? I don't know if they just aren't addressing it. So moving on, I wanted to talk about the whole thing about where Lucas lives. So a lot's happened. Now, when my videos air, I do not, sometimes they're made in the studio, my little studio, days before. So things happen afterwards, and that's some of the stuff I wanted to share. So I'm going to stop for a minute because it looks like my questions are trying to be answered, or they're just saying hello. I wonder if the investor will approach her about selling it and if she still has it. Linda, I know this was in my head too. I was wondering, is there a bank in Hope Valley? Yes, there is, Miriam. They saved it. And they're actually, one of the investors that they went with was a friend of Elizabeth's from, back where she was raised. Hi, Clarence. How are you? So yes, there is a bank. We haven't heard much about it, but I am sure we are going to hear about it again in season 9 because it's all about Hope Valley. So getting back to where Lucas lives. I wanted to talk about my ideas. If you haven't seen the video, hi, Christina, I had 2 ideas. One was, well, both are the same. I feel like he lives somewhere in someplace small, no nonsense, because all of his needs are met at the saloon. And he has that gorgeous office, and it's filled with all kinds of treasures. And that's where he spends most of his time. So when he goes to go home, it would be to sleep, to relax, for some quiet time. So I feel like no matter where he lives, and we know he doesn't live upstairs or at the saloon because he said it when he talked to Allie and she goes, "Do you live here?" And he says, "No." And he kind of laughs like as if it feels like it. And then the actor, Chris McNally, said he knows the character does not live at the saloon. So he might be living local, like I said, in one of the buildings close by. And it could be that the writers just have not addressed it, but it would be very easy for them to pick one of those little places around town. Or if he lives out in the woods or away, I'm still thinking it's something small like a cabin, and that he's a smart business guy. Maybe he bought something small that he could expand on because he knew in the back of his mind he wanted to stay because he was trying to find a place to stay. He said he wanted to stop being a tumbleweed and probably settle down one day so he could expand on whatever property he has. So I wanted to show you, I'm going to be like you're in my classroom, and I'm going to show you some pictures that have been shared with me, and it'll help us make more of a better prediction of as where he lives. And of course, if you want to participate and share anything, you can. So I'm going to show you these 3 pictures that I have, talk about a few things that I found out since I last posted, and then I'll come back, we'll chat, have questions. And then I'm going to end with the whole baseball card and what is inside Lucas's office. So some things I found out about that, and how the writers and the directors like to have a little bit of fun with we fans, not us fans, we fans. So I'm going to hit share. And I talk to you just like I tell my students. I might throw myself out. If I throw myself out, I'll come back in. And I'll hit share screen. Okay, share screen. And I'll do a window. And I am going to do this window. Share. Okay. All right. I am clicking on, wrong thing. Present. All right. So if you look at this, you will see that it is the bridge. And it's funny because the Jamestown movie set calls it the Kissing Bridge. Someone was offended by that. I'm sure there's somebody that wishes that she chose somebody else, but this is the bridge. It's really there. And in the background, you'll see a house. That's a modern house. The MacInnes family, because there's generations of them, they live in that house. So it is not part of the movie set. I talked to the MacInnes family, and they said that it is not part of the movie set. So some of you were hoping and wishing that house back there was Lucas's. It is not. So that doesn't mean he doesn't live in something small out in the woods. So I'm going to click to this next thing. They actually shared this with me and made that circle to just show you overall where the house is located. And wow, that whole bridge scene was really way out there. I know in our imaginations when we're in the show, it's not that far away, but it's way out there. So I'm sure economically putting something for real out there wouldn't work. But I want to show you this. This was first Gowan's office, and then it became Lee's office. And they informed me, and you probably could see this on Instagram too, if you walked over to the left-hand side, the Kissing Bridge is not far from there. So why couldn't they repurpose this and make this Lucas's little cabin, you know? Of course, they would have to take that little aerosol can that's in the corner there away. But they could repurpose this, and if he does live out there, he could have like a tiny little cabin like I was thinking, and many of you were thinking as well. So that's the first part I wanted to share. So we can just get rid of that whole notion that there's a little house out there and it is his. So I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. We know that he likes to buy investment property, the library building. So it's entirely possible he has another holding in town that has an upstairs apartment. That was so common in those days. I agree with you, Linda. That could be. But again, it wouldn't have to be anything big. And people were saying how there's a scene where Elizabeth, this is a while back, enters town and she's saying good morning to Nathan, and Lucas comes over to say good morning to her, and then she goes to take care of a little incident with the kids, and the boys fighting and saying, gentlemen, you should behave like gentlemen. And then there's the two of them and they're like, yeah, okay. And they separate. And someone was saying he came out of there early in the morning and that's the dentist office. However, they've never seen it as a dentist office. Even if it was a dentist office, what if Lucas owned it and he lived upstairs? Just like there's apparently apartments or some kind of rooms above the was the mayor's office, and now it's the judge's office. And we know Gowan would stay up there because we saw that back when he hurt himself and he was upstairs and Abigail went to visit him, and that could very well be. Now, people were asking about the yellow house, and I showed that and I talked about it because they now have toys in the window and they're boy toys. And someone was like, oh, these are it's a toy shop. And I'm like, if it's a toy shop, there's no price tag. It's all willy-nilly in there. I don't think it's a toy shop. Someone said it could be a daycare center because more of the women are starting to work. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Or maybe it's Lucas's house. I don't know. And all those toys that were in there were a lot of they were all boy toys. There were baseballs, there were trains, there were little ships, there was a Polly dog, there was some boats. I was thinking, okay, they look very much like the toys that are in Lucas's office. So they could have been his toys from when he was a young guy. I don't know. I know they like to fill in the sets, make them look authentic. But as one of the set directors told me, she said they really do put a lot of thought into it. Often they ask the actors about it. And that is how I got some information about the baseball card and what was going on in Lucas's office. And I'm going to share that in a minute. But before I do, I see I have some new comments and I just wanted to see what everyone is saying and address them if I can. Oh, I don't know what I just did. Did I throw myself out? What happened? I know you're all still there, but something happened with my computer and I don't know what I did. Shoot. Here I am. Sorry. It was a technical difficulty on my end. Okay, so I see Barb. It says I have new question. Okay, I don't want to throw myself out. I'm trying to look at your comments and my computer is freezing, so I don't know what you're saying. But I will, let's see if I can do it this way. All right, I'll come back. I wanted to move on and I wanted to show you, again, I wanted to share slides and I wanted to talk about what I found out. And it's nothing earth-shattering, but it's something funny. So I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a baseball card. I'm going to show it to you in a minute that I zeroed in on inside the office of Lucas. And I was trying to figure out who it is, as were other people. And thank you, Deb, for helping me out because she right away responded and she gets a prize. I said, it's not like a gimmick. I'm trying to give out prizes, but she helped me in my research. So I have something for her and we will chat privately. But then Janine Marie, of course, she's like so good at editing. She helped too, as did Terry Lee. And I've made friends with some of the directors and set decorators, and we chat every now and then, and they gave me some info only because I kind of guessed. So I'm going to share that right now. So if I throw myself out, I know I'm repeating myself. If I throw myself out, I will come back. All right, I'm going to hit share and share my screen. And I'll do a Chrome tab. That's better. Okay, so let me put present for you. All right, so we talked about the cabin. So moving on. So you could see this baseball card. Now, Janine Marie, she had shared this. I don't know, maybe she has screenshot it from when we got to actually see Lucas's office when it first aired in season 8. This was what it looked like. And if you notice, it looks like there's another card behind it, but there's only this. But then when Peter DeLuise shared this summer Lucas's office, now things have been added. And there's pieces that have been added to the set, which just says to me, we absolutely know they went out to all that trouble for that office. That office is still there. People are still questioning if Lucas still has the saloon. He does. There's even they shared some video of him being in the saloon and on top of the saloon for season 9 and picture clips. So we definitely know he's there. But we were trying to figure out who this card was. And I was so excited because in my research, we were thinking, some people were thinking that it was, he has so many different names, the Big Six, but Mathewson. We were thinking it was Christy Mathewson because of the look on his face, but he is, or the look of his face, he is not an American leaguer. So American leaguers at this time had this triangle. So people were saying, oh, it was probably Trish Speaker. It's actually neither of them. And I was like, you know what? It can't be that. It can't be either. And I flipped over and I was like, and I told Janine Marie, I think they took Peter DeLuise's face and they photoshopped it in, they being the art department, because this is what the original card looks like. So she practiced a little and then we looked at it from over here. And I said, you know what? I know that's what they did because I have been in love with Peter DeLuise. I've had a crush on him since I was 10. That's him back in the day. And the Widow's Peak I see right there. So I got in touch with them and guess what? It really is Peter DeLuise. They photoshopped him on there. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to stop that and come back. They said they love to tease us and that we have eagle eyes and we figure it out. So I wrote to them and I said, hello, I'm a little bit sad by this because I really wanted it to be Christy Mathewson. And if you haven't watched my video, you can go back and watch it. The reason why I wanted to is because it kind of mirrors the relationship of Nathan and Lucas and what could be. So Lucas, we know, is apparently a Boston Red Sox fan or something, maybe Christy, even maybe it could be Christy. If it was Christy, he could be back in, like, his card could be hidden behind the others. And if it was him, that would be great because Ty Cobb is Nathan's favorite. And as I said in my video, the two baseball players actually stopped playing ball for a while and went and fought in the war and actually served together as captains. And they saved each other's lives, and for real. And then they came back into baseball. And I was like, this would be great. This would be like Nathan and not Nathan Elizabeth, Nathan and Lucas's relationship. So I wrote that all out to them. I told them, and they're like, oh, like they didn't even realize that. They thought that's pretty cool. So maybe I said, can't you just like put another photoshopped card in there? And so maybe that's what will happen. Who knows? But they like to tease us, and they're happy that we have eagle eyes. All right. So I am trying to figure out why I cannot find my comments. Like why I can't make it work. So I don't know what is being said. I don't want to throw myself out of the live just because I wanted to see what you all had to say. I don't know how. Oh, I did it again. I am sorry about that. What's this say? I'm not blocking you. Okay. All right. And that is kind of all that I had, except say thank you to Deborah, to Janine, and to Terry Lee. And I also wanted to mention that the video that I did the other day, like everybody's watching it. It has like almost 1,400 views. I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody really wants to know where Lucas lives. And that's why I got in touch with the MacInnes, because I call him MacInnes, it's MacInnes. I have to correct myself. The MacInnes family, to make sure about that little house in the back. So many people want it to be his house, but it's not part of the movie set. But that doesn't mean they can come up with a little, you know, like it kind of looks like it's there and it's not kind of thing. All right, I know there's a lag. I know I keep repeating myself. I'm going to try one more time and not throw myself out. Why I can't see all of your comments is driving me insane. I'll probably see them afterwards. Let me see if I try this. Banner, brand, private chat. Okay, comments, new comments. Has new comments with an arrow and I'm stuck, and that makes me angry. All right, I will address them after I stop the live, and we can converse that way. Okay, thank you for tuning in. This was a quick one. Before I actually sign off, Kathy is coming back. She's really excited that everyone was excited. There were many requests. And also Janine Marie, who writes fan fiction. Oh my goodness, she will be on too. I'm so excited. So be on the lookout for all of that stuff. All right. Good night.